Hi loves, it's Laura Chappell here and welcome to this week's workshop on moon medicine. Today I will be guiding you through my process and tools that I use when I connect to the lunar energies for my releasing and welcoming in. So my intention of sharing this workshop with you today is to empower you with the knowledge, the tools to be able to create your own personal ceremony and sacred space during the new moon and the full moon. So I really hope that you gain wisdom, tools, insights during this workshop, and I really look forward to hearing from you soon. So I want to share a little bit around my own personal journey connecting to the lunar cycles. So most of you won't know, but I had a big journey with my menstrual cycle during my 20s. I had been on the contraceptive pill since I was 15, and when I decided to come off it around the age of 28, my natural cycle didn't repair itself. So for 3 years, I was journeying with all different healing modalities, trying to bring back my cycle naturally. And this is really one of the big catalysts that begun my journey into what I'm doing now. And during that time of healing and learning and understanding, I felt deeply unrooted within myself, and there was this inner feeling of failure as a woman for not being able to produce my menstrual cycle, my bleed. And it was a really turbulent, difficult time, and it took 3 years of this process until February 2020, when my cycle returned. And during that time, I really felt this calling to form a structure and an anchor around my life, in the same way that the cycle, the menstrual cycle, provides that container. And I began working with the lunar energies. So this was really my entry point into the moons, and why I speak a lot about them in my workshops, in my programs, and the power and potency of tapping into the energies for supporting the healing journey. So I first want to share with you a little bit of cosmology with what is going on universally to create these energies of the moons. So we have our sun, which is at the very core of our universe, and the entire universe, all the planets in our universe are evolving, rotating around the sun. As our Earth rotates a turn around the sun, which is 365 days, the Earth is also rotating on its axis, and that gives us one single day. So you can see that these rotations, these movements in space is what creates our sense of time. So the other aspect that is happening as our Earth is rotating around the sun is that our moon is also orbiting around our Earth. So it takes the moon 28 days to do a full orbit around our Earth. So I hope that you're building up a little picture in your head of these planets all evolving, orbiting around Ra, our sun, which sits in the center of the universe, and then our moon orbiting around our Earth, and our Earth turning on its axis, which takes 24 hours. So what gives us our moon cycles, and what is really determined on our moon cycles, is how far the moon is from the sun at any given time. So when the moon is the other side of Earth and the other side of the sun, that is when we get our full moon. So that the moon is receiving the light from the sun, and that's why we can see it in its full illumination. And that illumination is created by the light shining directly onto the moon. Yet when the moon is closest to the sun, the side of the moon which is receiving the sun's rays, the light, is the side facing away from Earth. So that is what creates the new moon, or the dark moon as we like to call it. And at this point, the moon is not reflecting any of the sun's light into the Earth and into our night. So this creates a sense of darkness and a deeper aspect for us to rest and re-nourish during the moon cycle. So we have these two poles of energy. We have the pole of the full moon, which is when the moon is the other side of the Earth to the sun, and that is when the moon is receiving the sun's light and reflecting that into Earth during our night. And at this pole, this is when we are in our expansion mode, because we're receiving more of the sun's light into the Earth. So the full moon's energy is about manifestation. It is about welcoming in, and it is about receiving. And we can tap into this heightened potency of the sun's energy and the moon energy during this time of fullness. Then we have the opposite pole, which is when the moon is in between the sun and the Earth. And this is the time when we have darkness in the sky, so the new moon. And during this pole, this is when we release. We shed the layers and we tap into this contracting energy that allows us to let go of anything that we don't wish to carry with us into the next cycle. I would just like to speak a little bit to the movement in between these two poles, because obviously all the planets are always moving around us. And the moon's journey from one pole to the other is really a polarity of different energies that we feel. So from this contraction pole of the new moon, we are on an upward trajectory of expansion. So we plant our seed at the new moon for what it is that we really want to welcome in when we've reached the full moon. So how do we want to feel? What do we want to manifest? And we can then use this increasing, expanding energy as the moon grows in light to really align ourselves to that. And then when we are at the full moon, the energy begins contracting all the way back down to the new moon. So at the full moon, this is when we plant our releasing and our healing intention, offering up what fears, what weight, what emotion, what aspects of our healing journey that we're ready to release. And we can then use that downward contraction of energy to support that healing. Having moved through many different iterations of moon ceremony during my time in cultivating my own spiritual practice with the moon, but then also sharing it outwards to groups in gatherings, I have moved through different stages, different tools to really support this process of anchoring into the lunar energies. Yet the place that I'm really at now is just about intention. If you show up on the nights of the full moon or the new moon with an intention to tap into the flow and use it to set a personal intention, whether that be for calling in or healing, is really the medicine of it. So I feel arriving at the place that I am today, the tools that you need most are yourself, you showing up in integrity and connection to the moon. Cultivating a sacred space to hold you during this ceremony is really important. So that sacred space doesn't necessarily need to be a meditation area or somewhere separate in your home. It can simply be your dining room table. Yet there is a layer of sacredness that you bring to it through perhaps lighting some candles, putting on some music, dimming some lights, whatever it is that makes you feel really at ease in that space and connected will allow you to more deeply drop into your heart space. Bringing a candle will allow you to really signify the planting of your intention. So once you've moved through your opening space and your meditation process, you will then connect into the heart and really ask what it is that you're welcoming in or releasing. To make that intention real and signify this light that we are tapping into, having a candle nearby that you can light with intention will really help bring that intention into the physical form. Bringing your journal on the night of the moon really is a great opportunity to tap into what's in the heart. I find that I write and I write and I write so much on both the new moon and the full moon because this energy is really potent and wanting to be felt. I find that my heart is so much more open, so it's a really great opportunity to ask yourself those questions that perhaps have been in your mind and just getting some clarity on that. So I always sit at my dining room table just writing on the night of the new moon, and this is a really great practice to get into before you come and do your meditation, just to really seed out any unwanted thoughts and really get down to the nuts and the bolts of your truth. And then allow yourself to create the space around you by playing some sounds that really connect you inwards and allow you to fully surrender and relax. So I will share a playlist with you specifically that I've created for the moons, and you can tap into that when you want to run your own ceremony. So the ritual aspect of the moon ceremony should really take no longer than about 30 minutes or so. And this is just an opportunity for you to connect in directly to this lunar energy. And there is real importance in ritual and making sure that you create the space as clean as possible. And when I speak about the space, I talk of the energetic space around you, because that allows for this pure energy of the moon to come in through you and bring to the surface your truth. So when you are ready to open your sacred space, find a place to sit with your candle, with your journal nearby. Doesn't have to be on the floor, you can be sat on a chair, on a sofa. Close down your eyes, and the first step is grounding your body to the earth. So after taking a few breaths, visualize yourself growing roots from the base of your spine down into the earth below and connecting all the way to the earth's core. I like to visualize a crystal right at the center of the earth's core, and then I form my roots around that crystal. What that enables you to do is instantly feel grounded, supported and connected to the earth, and not caught up in the mind. So that is stage one of opening the space, grounding yourself into Mother Earth. The second stage is then to connect your energies upwards. So drawing your awareness to the top of your head, then visualize a golden thread shooting out through the top of your head and connecting directly into the sun. So this may feel a little bit odd if you're doing the ritual at night time, but just visualize the sun still being there, burning brightly in the universe, and you shooting up this golden thread, getting creative in your visualization and meeting the sun, perhaps lassoing the sun, so that you feel this sense of direct connection to the light above. And you can then call in this light energy into your body. So after connecting to these two poles, you will instantly feel a deeper sense of connection. You will feel your body lighten and rise. And this is then when we call in the protection. So it's really important to protect our field too. So as you are connecting up to the sun, mentally ask to call in this golden light to form a protective orb around your field. And as you form that protective orb around your field, you can then ask for any negative energies that are not there for your highest good to leave this protective orb. So after protecting yourself, you can then tap into your heart. Visualize yourself breathing in and out through your heart space, and spend a few minutes just deepening this sense of being into your heart. And then it is for you to visualize a connection from your heart directly up to the moon. So visualize this connection in any way that feels true to you. And as you are allowing in this energy of the moon, whether it be the dark or the light, you can then feel into this connection, allowing yourself to surrender a little more. And this is when you can ask the moon, what is it that I am welcoming in this cycle, if it is the full moon? Or what is it that I am releasing in this cycle, if it's the new moon? So opening this space, connecting down through your roots, connecting up to the sun, protecting your field with a golden orb, and then opening your heart to the moon energies will create this sacred space for you to really tap into the truth. So now you are in connection and resonance with these energies. It's really about understanding what the heart desires. You'll probably find that there's so many intentions in the mind, thoughts of things that you want to manifest, things that you want to heal. But actually, this process is about dropping out of the mind and into the heart. What you'll find as you drop your awareness deeper into the heart space is that there is one feeling or word or vision that really is a knowing from inside. Whatever that might be, however nonsensical it might be, that is your intention. So sit with yourself, sit with your heart for as long as it takes for that feeling, for that knowing to arrive. And when that knowing arrives, you can light your candle to symbolize whatever that intention is. So after you have lit your candle, it's really important to clear down and close up the energy in the space in the correct way. So don't get up straight away and walk off. Remain where you are and energetically call back the cord that you connected to the sun into your body. Call back the roots that you grew into the earth's core into your body, and call back the thread that connected you to the moon back in. Allow these cords and strands of energy to come back into your body and release any other energies that might have been present with you during this ritual. The final stage that really makes this real and is really quite important for the potency of this manifestation is to make it real. So I like to do that in messaging, voice messaging a friend, letting them know what my intention was and is for this cycle. So sharing with a friend after you have done this ritual will allow that process and that affirmation to self. The next thing is just to surrender. So this is the magic that you hold within you. So you don't need to go after whatever that intention is. That intention, if it is aligned to your heart, will come to you. So once you have planted this seed, all you need to do is just carry on living your life as you would live your life. And you will be amazed at how clear this intention becomes your reality. I really hope that you have enjoyed today's workshop and you feel empowered with the tools and the knowledge to begin tapping into this frequency yourself. Using the lunar energies has been transformational in my own journey and the creation of my business and the continual growth and evolution of my being. And I'm so excited for it to be the same for you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am sending you so much love.